financial services industry around the world has changed. That's accepted, and the biggest outcome really is change regulation, and in many cases re-regulation of certain industry sectors. Asset management is part of global financial services. So what we've seen in Ireland is increased regulation, much of it driven by the European Union, but we've seen increased activity in Ireland. So job numbers, if you like, in asset management firms, in the fund service providers has increased. It's actually at an all-time high. Much of that is around the increased activity that regulation is requiring. I think it's more costly. So the starting point is people are building out increased compliance, risk management functions. They need more people. It's a costly function, but it's a necessary, very important and necessary function. So the first starting point is cost. And so that impacts margin, it impacts profitability. So for many managers, it's very much a cost issue. Ireland is a very successful fund servicing centre, so that's the starting point. There are over 12,500 funds serviced in Ireland. Over 40% of the world's hedge funds, many of which are not domiciled in Ireland, are serviced from here. That's because it's English-speaking, low cost, low tax, very young population, plentiful supply of university graduates who work in the industry. Secondly, though, is increasingly Ireland as a domicile. So this is the point about regulation, where an onshore regulated fund is required. Increasingly, Ireland is a very good solution within the European Union. So where an EU domicile is required, Ireland for all of those previous reasons, is a very good solution as a domicile for fund managers. It's been driven by both. Ultimately, it's about investor protection, but in many cases, it's because European Parliament and European regulation requires much of this activity to happen within the European Union. So for European investors, what Europe is really saying is the product needs to be domiciled in Europe. It needs to be a European fund, and that's where Ireland and other jurisdictions then begin to offer their services. I think as the industry grows, as it expands, particularly in the alternative space, but also in the long-only traditional fund space, we will see more middle office functions being carried out in Ireland. Functions such as risk management, fund oversight, operational due diligence, things like that will become much more important to the Irish service offering, and I think you'll see service providers themselves and also fund managers increasingly doing those activities in Ireland, because Ireland has very good cost and tax reasons, and also availability of very good people to carry out these functions.